The S&P 500 is continuing with its nosedive. The UK 100 seems like it's hit the top of its stagnating range here, and it's starting to go back down again to hit the bottom of the range. Or is it actually over the coming weeks and months going to push out of this stagnation that it's had for the past year? Gold is doing what it's been doing for the past weeks, but it looks like the momentum is slowing down a little bit now. But we're only on Tuesday. We've got the rest of the week to go. And right now we've got a high volume green candle on a weekly basis that could see another all-time new high. The Japanese yen still weakening against the US dollar. Are we going to see a lot more weakening or even strengthening by the US dollar against the Japanese yen? I can't see anything else happening but that. The euro against the US dollar decided I'm not going to jump off the 10-meter diving platform. I'm going to go up to the 30-meter one instead and see what can happen from there. How far is the euro going to drop or depreciate over the coming week? I'm guessing it's going to come down and test the 105 and maybe the 104.5. And if it goes any further than that, we are in for problems in Europe. Tesla is also about to come and test real lower prices. And to be quite honest with you, I'm going to snap it up all day long if it goes beneath this one line. CoinMarketCap's Fear and Greed Index is currently showing 60, which is greed. It's on the borderline to go into neutral. The other Fear and Greed Index for the crypto markets is on 65, that's greed, once again pushing towards the neutral zone. The market's Fear and Greed Index, based upon yesterday's number, is now on 41, that is on fear. How long are we going to move in this fear? Is it going to be a continuation moving into extreme fear? Are we going to see lower prices? Or is this just a short tap into fear to move back into neutral and then back into extreme greed again? Only time will tell right now. To be honest with you, I don't think we've got much to worry about. It bounced in and out of greed to neutral, so I'm guessing we might see a fear back to neutral, back to fear again, but it's definitely times to start taking a little bit of a step back and look how the market is going to go. The almighty Bitcoin halving is moving really close now. We're on 3 days, 17 hours, 22 minutes and 0 seconds. Is the Bitcoin halving already priced in? Are we buying the rumor, selling the news, or are we going to see this 2x, 3x, 20x over the course of the year? Or are we going to see lower prices over the coming days, ready for the whole market just to buy in and push the price of Bitcoin to absolutely all-time euphoric highs? The altcoin season is now moved down to 39. Now we're pushing quickly away from becoming an altcoin season, moving closer to a Bitcoin season. And my name is David Thorne. You are watching David's videos. It is the 16th of April 2024. It's currently 9:25 in the morning, Central European time. As I said, my name is Dave. I do lots of different types of videos, from programming, flying my drone. Now obviously you came here because of the title about Bitcoin price analysis. So if you do want to check out all of the other videos I've made over the past weeks and so on, then come over to this playlist and you can see all of the videos that I've previously made, all in order and all been annotated with the change that Bitcoin had that day and the open and close price. So feel free to come back and see what I said about the previous days. Now before we move in to look at the Bitcoin price, I just want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. I am not a professional trader. I am literally just a guy sat in front of a monitor talking to a microphone about the movement of the Bitcoin price with regards to my own investment, or the money that my wife and we have put into Bitcoin in 2021. Me and my wife, we invested into Bitcoin probably at the wrong point, definitely at the wrong point, and we made the mistake of not buying when the price was super low. We are not going to make that mistake again. And over the course of the past weeks, we have taken some profits. We haven't sold lots of it, but we've taken profits. So we've got some money in the event that it does make a big correction to put it back in again. Over the weekend, we did also top up some of our other assets that we had after the altcoins decided to have a huge sell-off and give us a lot of discount. Before I begin, I just want to say I do this for free. It does take my time to sit here and research about the markets before I make the video. Then I've got to make the video and then I've got to edit it. So it would really do me a big favor if you just gave the video a like, and just to show me your appreciation. That would that would be really fantastic, and it'd be super, super nice. So I am going to wait for you right now, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to come over to my channel and subscribe and like and tap on the notification bell if you want to be notified when I make any other videos. Now, like I said, if I do make another video about programming or something like that, and this is not your thing, don't worry, I won't be insulted if you just scroll by and just ignore the video. But if you do think you might be interested in it, why don't you just watch it anyway? But otherwise, if you're just here for the Bitcoin price analysis, all my videos start, as you can see, with either BTC or Bitcoin. With that now all out the way, let's go ahead and close the browser. Let's close these other tabs on TradingView, and let's jump straight in, as per normal, to the weekly charts. So nothing really has changed. We're obviously now seeing a little bit of a bigger, redder, more confirmed candle, but we're on Tuesday. We've got the whole of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday to go. So there is absolutely 0 point make any predictions here. What we do, however, know is in order for the Bitcoin price to make a new high, it's got to come and test this. We've got to come and test this line up here, and to make a new low, well, it's got to come and test these 3 lines here. And the elephant in the room that probably no one is talking about, no one wants to look at, is this line down here, 48,605. Now, if you think the price is not coming here, right, we're just going to leave it at that. But I'm going to keep saying this and keep saying it, and I am 100% about it. The price is coming here, and it will come here before it comes up there. Now, if it does come up here, it's a trap. It's going to come snap back down to here, and then it will make new highs. So I'm just going to leave it at that. That's the last time I'm going to talk about this line down here in this one video. But for me, this is my starting point where I'm going to start contemplating buying more Bitcoin, because I've got to know which direction it's going. Now, I am positive. I am not a pessimist about Bitcoin going down. I do want Bitcoin to go up. I have invested into Bitcoin long term. So I am not like this bearish person. I'm literally just a person saying, hey, there's a big wick here. And normally wicks, they need to be filled. They need to be balanced. So if this wick has got to be balanced, and this wick has got to be balanced, and this wick has got to be balanced, well, this wick has got to be balanced too. It's a scientific method. You know, you can't just assume or cherry pick, oh, this one's got to be done, this one's got to be done, but not this one, because this one scares me, and this one is really, really low. If it's going to do it, then it's going to do it. At one point, there's too many people have, like market makers or whatever, that have got liquidity stuck down here and they want it back. Now, if lots of market makers have got liquidity stuck down here, it's definitely going here. All right. So just be warned. Be warned. If you are a moon boy and you are euphoric about the price, in denial about the price only going up, right, you should really get your money out of Bitcoin, because it's going to really hurt in the event it does go down. Now, I'm not saying it will go down to huge prices, but let's just zoom out here, right? Even if it does come down, even if it does come down to here, it's nothing. That's a nothing move. You know, coming down to, like, say 30,000 is a something move, but this here to 48,000 is a nothing move whatsoever. Now, with that all out of the way, let's jump into the daily time frame. Let's have a look even further. Okay, it's clear as a bell that we are moving sideways. So let's just draw a box around this, and this is moving sideways. Now, for all of you people that don't want to hear this, I'm going to do it anyway. Really, this is the box we're moving sideways. And right now, and when we look at the lower time frames, we're going to prove this, all right? We're using scientific method to say it's happening here, and we're going to show it happening on lower time frames, which is the argument why it's also going to happen here. So you need to be able to falsify what you're going to say. And I'm telling you that if it happens on lower time frames, then it's going to happen here as well. So my hypothesis here is that we are just filling the prices here, and then we're going to move down to this and consolidate in this price, and we're going to test the bottom, going to test it. And if there are people that want to buy Bitcoin down here, right, and there are still people willing to sell it down here to capitulate, then we should expect to see a test of this zone here ready for the move up. And I believe that that will be the momentum to push it up super, super high. So if anything, when I say that, I think this is a positive thing by me saying it. So let's just keep this this green area on there and to see what pattern we see when we're moving down. So we're agreed upon right now that the 5, the 8 and the 15 are all moving down. And right now we have a possible daily candle closing below the 50 EMA. Now, right now it's sitting above the EMA, but there's nothing stopping this candle from going down. The smallest move, the smallest geopolitical sentence that comes out today could zip this all the way down. We know how it works, right? So if there's no talks here of any other throwing stuff from one country to another, or anyone doing anything or whatever, I don't want to mention these words, but if there's no sound of that, then it sounds like that this is going to be fine. Now, if any other data comes out that talks about inflation, we might see another move. But I'm not one to speculate about that. I am here long term. And so whether it goes down or up, I don't really care. If it goes down to these prices, this means that Bitcoin is at a discount and more people are going to get Bitcoin at a discount. If it sits up here all the time and it just continues on up further, that means that Bitcoin was always at a premium and people never got it at a discount, which means they've got to move it even further to actually have that profit, right? If it moves down here first and then moves up, then the profit was in this one zone here. Whereas if it moves up from here, then they've got to have a bigger move to make that one profit. So we'll have to see how today pans out. But right now, this sentiment is going down, right? It's not going straight down, but it's definitely going down. So let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. And when we move on to the 4-hour time frame, we see that the 5, the 8 and the 15 are moving apart. Sorry, the 5, the 8, 15 and 50 are moving downwards, all of them, and they are moving away from each other. Okay, so we don't see this sideways movement right now. We definitely see a downwards movement. So this is something we have to keep in mind. Now the 200 is above the 300, but they seem to be going sideways. So if we move on to the hour time frame, and now let's see what we see right now. But this is now shows the 200 is moved beneath the 300 and it's moving down, and the 300 is also moving down. So now we have all of them moving down. The 5 and the 8s, they can be a little bit more dynamic. They can move back up again, but ultimately it's these two moving averages that are playing the bigger role, especially with the 50 as well. And the confluence here is saying that the bigger, the longer averages are saying to move at lower prices. So you can be as delusional as you want to say that this is going to go to the moon. But right now, the probability is that it's going to test lower lows, right? So you can be euphoric if you want and say it's going to come up here, then it's going to go up there. But in order to that happen, it's got to see some strength pushing through, and the sentiment of the market has got to change completely. So don't be a contrarian this time. Just go with the market. The market is the master. And right now, all of the averages are saying on an hourly basis that the market is going down and it needs real strength to turn it around right now. So let's move into the 30-minute time frame. So once again, the 200 and 300, they are moving apart from each other. You see, if we come back to the hour, they're closer there, but the 30, they've moved apart. Let's quickly snap down to the 15, and the 15, you can see that they're kind of parallel to each other, but they are moving down. So let's come back up to the 30, and we see that the price tested, or it got rejected against the 200, and then it came down pretty fast after that. But to test these lower, this previous low, this previous candle here, this previous wick that it had. So let's start drawing wicks on here, because this is the whole point of it, right? We want to, let's just turn these RSIs off. Let's turn this off. Okay, so what we're here to do is to falsify and to repeat. So first of all, we want to repeat what we saw with the wick. And we see this big wick, and it's come down and tested it once. It's come down and zipped straight through it again to show that there was no liquidity there. The liquidity was down here. So let's push through, and we see that the price came back inside of this one zone, and it hasn't really tested this zone here, right? So let's move it up to show a zone that it's possibly not tested, right? And it's this area here. Okay, could we argue that it has fully tested it? Well, no, it came in, it came outside of it, and then it came straight back down again. So I would say that we could move this over and say that this zone on this wick here has not been tested. Can we say that this lower part has been tested properly? Well, we maybe could. Let's zoom in a little bit. We maybe could. And, you know, the whole point is being scientific about this and arguing the fact. So it's come in and it has gone sideways. It's done some form of consolidation here, but then the price just zipped straight through it again to show that there was no one buying there, or there was no one selling there. Sorry, the sellers were up here. So it came back into this zone again, but moved through to higher parts up here. So really, this is the area here that was showing the support, and the lower region of that was showing the resistance, sorry, here to push the price back down again. And all we saw was that this bit here was more working as a very, very weak support level to come back up, and then boom, the price is just zipped straight back through again. So are we saying that these red candles, these blue candles have been balanced? Well, the only sign that I can see really is down here. This candle down here, whoops, this candle down here, it doesn't look like, I mean, it's still very volatile. The price is moving up and down. We don't really see any real sideways movements. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sideways movement, real boring sideways movement that shows you that people have agreed upon that the price is there. And once it does go sideways for a long period of time, and then it moves either up or down, that's when we know that that area has been filled. So I would say that this area is still very illiquid, and it's about to move away from it, because there's too much volatility here, which allows that if someone stops buying or stops selling, it will just zip out that zone super quick. So let's have another look at this. So right now we've got the 5, the 8, and the 15. They're trying to push back up again, but it looks like right now that this area is some form of a resistance level, right? And if there is strength in this one candle, we would expect to see it push through. And there's really not much liquidity in this area here, so we would expect some form of possible resistance zone here. But then if the price does push through, we would expect it to come and test this upper zone here. But that doesn't mean to say that it's got any, the price is balanced here. We want to see the price go like this, sideways, and consolidate in there for a good amount of time to show that whole area has been filled. Anyway, let's assume right now, because we said the sentiment is going down, let's assume it's going to test this area, and then it's going to come into this one zone here. And we've seen it test once and twice so far. So we would expect to see it maybe come and test a third time before it dumps down and come and meets this one candlestick here, or this candle wick, sorry. So we can see right now that this candle wick needs to be filled, right? And that would then come inside of this one candlestick. Now, if we do see, let's just, whoops, move these. Let's just get rid of all these, actually. And let's draw this again. So our argument right now is that this candle wick needs to be filled, right? And we've just agreed upon what I've said, and you're listening, so we've agreed upon that the price may come and test this one resistance zone more. And if it doesn't have any strength, then the first place that it's going to come and test or fill is this one candlestick. So we would expect to see some form of consolidation here, and then we would expect to see it spiking down and maybe making a new candlestick. So we would assume that there would be another candle wick, sorry, down here, and then this zone would then be consolidated, and then we would expect to see that this zone here be consolidated, and then finally we'd expect to see maybe a wick down here. And then if this is a support zone, right, if this is a strong support zone, we would not want to see that. We want to see this candlestick maybe not come and test the bottom. We'd want it just to sit above it. And so we would want the price to come down here, and this, if this is the bottom of the downward motion, then this should be then the strength pushing up. But I would expect to see I would expect to see this going sideways at this level here for till the 20th, maybe until Sunday night or something like that, to about here. So this in my opinion is the journey. Now, if this support level cannot hold over the course of let's say today and tomorrow, then we would expect to see prices come and test this zone here. But this doesn't really look like it. Well, it would come and test this zone first of all. Let's just say that. And then if it can't hold that zone, then we can say that this candlestick here, this wick, I keep saying candlestick, wick, needs to be filled. So the pattern then continues with this wick here. And then we can do the same idea with that wick there, wick, 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 wick. And then if it's going to come finally to test this one here, then it would test that one there. But we've hardly moved anywhere right now. Let's come and zoom out. Let's see, we're only on this one here. So we've still got this other bit to come down. So this is my thoughts on what, this is my thoughts. I'm saying that the price is coming down even further, and this is basically me mapping out the journey of what I believe it's going to be. So let's move into the 15-minute charts, and let's just say, okay, we've agreed upon, I've stated that the price is going to come and test this one line. So if it does come and test this one line, then that would mean that the price has come and broken through this one line. And if the price broke through that one line, that pivot point, then it broke through this one pivot point. Okay, so this is what we are agreeing upon, and we are saying that if it has broken these pivot points, then it's going to come through even faster. Now, if there is some support here, then we would see the price moving back up again to possibly come and test the 200. Now, if there isn't any support there and it's just pure weakness, then we would expect to see the price coming back down again. So let's jump into the 5-minute time frame and see what picture we can paint even further. So we can see right now that over the past 15 minutes, the price has pushed through and got rejected at this one resistance zone, 62.55, or approximately that. And if it's going to come and test it, say again, if it's going to consolidate here, maybe it will do like a bouncing ball type thing here. And then if the buyers still stay and the sellers go, then we would expect to see prices come up here. Now, I don't see that. I see that the selling continues and the buyers weaken and the buyers come down here. So, because this is all it is there's no support and resistance really. There is just, where are the buyers and where are the sellers, and that's it. And right now I say that the buyers are here, and anyone that is delusional enough to think that it's going to break out here is buying, and the real people are selling right here to push the price down. So this is what I would expect. And yesterday I said this and I was correct. And to me, it's painting an even louder picture today, because we have confluence from yesterday's how this went, and we have confluence again because we can see the market going down, we can see the candle wicks are there, and we can see it we can see it testing these one zones, and it's not got any strength to move up. So there's more likelihood, probability of it going down. Obviously, there can be a 99% chance of it going down, right? But that still gives a 1% chance of it turning around and going the opposite direction. So this now brings me on to my overall philosophy, right? Because that's the whole point of this, is that you need to look at the different confluences. You can't just be a moon boy and say it's going to the moon all the time, right? Because price of everything's got to go up and down. But there is, at one point you've got to be a contrarian, right? And this is my philosophy. And yes, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was down here, right? And as the market was going up, this was more and more people jumping on the trend, which is the right way. The motion of the Bitcoin, the direction, the trends, the sentiment of Bitcoin was moving up. And you could say, depending upon how you look at it, what speed it moved up at. But overall, it went up and down, and the sentiment, the trend was moving up. So anytime where you bought, you knew long term, over months, it was going up. So the question is now, do we have this trend? Do we have this sentiment still that the price is going up? Or do we need to start putting our contrarian hats on to say, this is the top? Now, I'm not one for guessing the top. I would much prefer to see the price come down to here, as we discussed, right? And then if it does try to come back up again, we think, okay, well, it tried to come back up, but it failed. And then it came and tested this one region. Now, if it does come back down again to this 1 week, but it can't get through it, and it comes and tries to test this again, it's going to have to break through this. And it's going to have to come here and then make this as a support zone once again, ready to come up. So we need to see, we can see it move down. But if it's going to move down any further, it's going to have to come, if it comes back down again and it has a pivot point below this one area, this shows signs of weakness, and this is just a trap here to trap people in for the price to come down even further. So be warned about this, that if the price does come down to here, this could be trying to trap people into thinking that it's going to go even lower. We would want to see it come back up and confirm this now as a support zone, and then we want to see weakness in this one support zone. We want to see it break through, right, and then come back up, and then confirm this as a resistance, ready for a boom spike down. So we need to make sure that we don't get trapped here, and this could happen the same. It could come up right now, and we want to see that either, if the price is going to go, we want to see that the price here up the top, it becomes a resistance, and then we come back down again. Now, if we don't come and break this one support level, this is definitely going to boom through, right? Or it can just be going sideways like this, and slowly, it could be slowly, just, I call it a bouncing ball effect, lose momentum completely, and at one point, once it's lost all momentum, the question is, have the sellers run out or have the buyers run out, right? And if the buyers have run out, the price will drop. If the sellers have run out, the price will go. But with the halving coming up as well, there's scarcity in the market too. So we've got to be careful about this, is that the companies coming in right now, they don't care what the price is. They want to know that their customers who maybe have their pension in there, and they're like, well, these people aren't going to be needing their pension until, like, say 25, 30 years time. So it really doesn't matter what price we buy it in right now, because they're just going to buy it slowly and keep putting it in over time. And the more and more people that come to them say, I want to take your pension too because it has profits, they're going to be buying in even more and even more. So these companies aren't really caring about what price it is, but what they do care about is the scarcity of it, right? And at the moment with the Bitcoin halving, it's getting even more scarce, and less people are selling. So long-term holders are not selling, and there's now less Bitcoin being produced as of the halving. And then if the miners don't sell, because their costs of keeping their mining hardware up to date to keep up with the hash rates, if these miners have got to invest more money now to keep up with this, the smaller miners, that it can be that they are the ones that are going to flood the market with their Bitcoin to have enough profits to be able to upgrade all their hardware. So we could expect this. Now, it can be that all the miners have already taken profits here, and they've already updated their hardware, and now they are expecting the prices to come up to then get that money back again, ready for future, ready for the halving in 4 years' time. So we don't know. I'm absolutely speculating here, but if more and more companies and countries start adopting the spot ETFs of Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever, then that's going to bring more and more money in. And you know, I'm long term here, so I'm talking about 15, 20 years. And right now, there's people saying that on a bad level, right? This is a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, and we're on a monthly level here. Worst case scenario, come over the 4 years until the next halving, Bitcoin will only double or triple, only, right? And that they are expecting a good case is like 60 times. It's like 450,000 each. So the question is if it does only double, then we only go to there. It only doubles. We only double our money. But if it does then come up to 450,000, you know, whatever you've invested here is a win-win. So it doesn't matter what price you buy in right here. But the thing is that's gambling to say it could go up and it could go down. No one knows what is in store for us over the coming 4 years. No one knows what's in store for us over the coming months. This is what this white space is about. We have no idea. So that's why you shouldn't gamble, and you should only make your decisions based upon what you believe is right for you. And what I'm saying, and if I am wrong in the future and the price does go up here, guess what? I don't care, because I'm going to be in profit up here. And if it goes down here and I can buy some more, then I will buy some more, because in the future it's going to go here anyway. So either way, right, it's a win-win. With that said, thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you very much for supporting the video. And if you do want to like, subscribe, share, or do whatever, then I would really much appreciate it. But remember, you need to do your own due diligence on any investments that you do make. It's your money, and just because I tell you what I'm going to do, that is basically what I am doing with my money. And you need to be the one responsible for your own money. So none of this is financial advice. None of this is me telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I do, what my thoughts are about my own investments. And if the price of Bitcoin does come down here, or goes even further and goes sideways for a long time, then I will be buying a lot, and I will just be consolidating. We'll just be accumulating all the time, right? All the time that it goes by, and all the time that it just keeps going up, we'll be taking small profits as well. Okay, with that said, thank you very much for watching, and whether or not there is another video today, I don't know. We'll have to see a huge move in Bitcoin, either up or down, and that means outside of this one range that we've got here right now, because I'm not making two videos repeating the same stuff. So if we see a move up here or down here closer towards this wick, then I'll make a I told you so video. And if we make one up here, make the move up here today, then oh brilliant, I'll just do it for the sake of documenting it as well. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you either this afternoon or in tomorrow's video. Ciao, ciao, goodbye.